everyone, welcome on back to the Cars Garage and to another diecast review. Now today, of course, we're taking a look at Floyd Mulvihill and Crusty Rotor, two very cool Piston Cup racers from the first Cars movie, and this is actually a 2022 two-pack, right from the beginning of the year, although I believe it was released throughout the year. Not too hard to find, but at the beginning of the year I guess it was a little bit. But I was able to find two, so I thought I'd open them up because I don't have Crusty Rotor previously. I think it looks so cool. Such a cool idea for a two-pack. They haven't done Piston Cup racers in a two-pack from Cars 1 in a while. I think they've been focusing on, I might be wrong, but I think they've been focusing more on next-gen two-packs and Cars 3 stock car two-packs. So it's nice to see some Piston Cup racers from Cars 1 with their retro designs back in the mix. Anyways, of course, they are on the Red Riders racing background. I guess Thomasville? I don't understand. Never understood what background that's supposed to be. I don't think it's supposed to be like any one in particular. It's just supposed to be a racing stadium in general, I think. But nice to see their new, or their same artworks, but they look cool to see them. Ironically, Floyd has been released in, I think, two other two-packs before. Once, I believe, with Ernie Gearson, and another time with Rusty Cornfield, I believe. But I'm not exactly sure on that. I know he was released in a two-pack at one point, but it's nice to see him back. He looks good in two-packs. On the back, of course, as seen in Cars, a couple other five other two-packs, but they're not very exciting ones. Race official Tom and McQueen. I don't know who designed that two-pack. I never liked when they put regular McQueen with some random Piston Cup official. They've done it before. They put him with Charlie Checker. But this one makes even less sense. They even put him with Dexter Hoover before. I don't know why, but Mattel likes to do that, I guess. Flo and Ramon. Simple, kind of boring. Dynaco Mia and Dynaco Tia. They get released way too much, but I did pick them up because I didn't have them previously. And then we have Doc Hudson and Cruising McQueen. Kind of a weird one, but it does look nice on the packaging. And this is probably the best one because it technically contained a new car. Although, it's really just Mater with his larger tow hook. That's just the stock image. He really doesn't look like that. He just has a slightly larger tow hook. Kind of boring. Kind of also cool, but he's been released a few times now otherwise. But it did contain a new variant of Road Trip McQueen. So that was, I mean, not Road Trip. I meant to say Road Repair McQueen. Pretty cool, though. I did open that one. I did a showcase on it. But I might do a review on it eventually. Because I do like that McQueen variant a lot, but the Mater's pretty boring. But anyways, I believe Crusty Rotor is getting a re-release as a single in 2023. Although, I don't think it's any different than this version here. But with that, let's just not waste any more time. Let's open these guys right out of their box. Well, here they all are out of their box, and I think we have to start with probably Floyd, because Crusty is probably the more popular one, so we'll put him off to the side, and we'll start with Floyd Mulvihill. And we actually have another version of Floyd to review later, the Cars 3 version, which is insanely different, has a completely different model, which doesn't even make sense. But anyways, of course, this is the Cars 1 version. He is, of course, the Gasprin racer, number 70. And Gasprin in the world of cars is basically just a parody of the real-life brand Aspirin, which is like a headache relief, I guess. And this is supposed to be hood ache relief, as it says on the grill there. Or not the grill, the hood. So I guess the hood is the equivalent of the head, I guess. Well, the hood protects your engine, so the head protects your brain, so I guess that makes sense. I always thought the engine was supposed to be like basically a heart, but I don't know. I'm not sure about the anatomy of cars. Already discussed that a few videos ago when we reviewed Celine de Fer, so we don't want to go down that road again. But anyways, of course, Floyd Mulvihill. Very simple design for a Piston Cup racer, even for one of these, you know, more retro Cars 1 Piston Cup racers. Not much going on. Flat two colors, royal blue and pretty dark yellow, although the old version, the Chinese variant, which we'll compare in a second, has a much brighter yellow, and I think it actually is more accurate. So this one may be a step down, if I'm being honest, but I mean, it does look really cool, and it's a new variant, so if you already had the Chinese version of him, then what's really the difference? If it's not completely accurate, it doesn't really matter all the time. I think it looks good either way. Yeah, very cool little decal Gasprin logo. The Gasprin logo is like a, I guess like a golden capsule. I think that's what it's supposed to be. Simple little logo there. And of course the Gasprin has one of the brands, well, one of the many brands that actually stuck around for Cars 3 and got 2 other variations, and luckily I have them both right here off camera over there, so I'll show them in a second. Tons of contingency sponsors: Nitrade, Piston Cup, Revolting, Octane, Mood Springs, Vitaline, No Stall, Gaskets, Gasprin. Why would he be, that doesn't make sense. Why would he be sponsoring his own brand? He already, I mean, he's racing for that brand. Why would he be using it as a contingency sponsor? Doesn't really make sense. Then Easy Idle, RPM, Little Turkey Pistons, Leakless, Retread, and Clutch Aid. So many more than the next gens have these days. Way more. They only have a few on each one of the next gens. I think only 4, including the Piston Cup. But yeah, nice little gradient. Well, actually, not really gradient. It's pretty 2D, 2-dimensional. But like a nice little shadow effect, I guess, to the 70 decal with the white. Not many colors, like I said. Although, I guess the logo has a little bit of a gradient in it. And, yeah, of course, fake headlights. They're just painted. There's stickers, of course, like McQueen used to have. And simple black tires. It'd be cool to see what he would look like with like a white rim. That would be kind of cool. Cool on the back too. Another little like capsule almost it's supposed to be, I think. A long capsule this time. Gasprin Hoodake Relief. I like how they're just giant letters. That's something you don't get on next gens. And even Cars 3 stock cars as much anymore. Most of them are more simplified, which is nice sometimes, but sometimes it's nice to just have, I don't know, just a lot of decals. More like simple textures. Or just 2D. Sometimes it looks better. I think I do prefer these Cars 1 Piston Cup racers. But then again, sometimes I really like the next gens. But anyways, let's take a look at the Chinese variant here. Of course, the base, you can see he's made in China. This one made in Thailand. It says on the bottom there. Odd spot to put that. But yeah, they are pretty different, but not as different as some of them are. Some of these variants are like, I don't know, like completely different colors and stuff like that, whereas this guy, the blue seems to be pretty much the same. Of course, a slightly different expression, but the biggest difference, I would say, is probably that shade of yellow. It's much darker on this new one. And if I'm looking at the package, I would say that this one is more accurate, like I said earlier. Although, I gotta say, I kind of like the darker yellow better. It matches the logo a little bit more. But this one I would say is probably more accurate, so I don't know which one is better. I honestly kind of prefer this new one, to be honest. Which is a little surprising because the decals aren't as clear. Of course, a different expression, and he now has a plastic eye plate. Also, his eyes are very tiny compared to other Thailand cars with this model that have been released in the past. Actually, this year, just like, well, this guy right here, actually the first car we reviewed on the channel, Murray Clutchburn, of course. Same model, but you can tell that the eyes are much bigger on Murray. Same thing with Crusty, he has small eyes too, I don't know why. But yeah, all the decals are the same. Like, these aren't intended to be variants, but they are because Thailand just makes cars slightly different. Ooh, I have a nasty little dent on the back there, I didn't know that. Decal scraping off. But yeah, everything is in the same spot and everything. And just to compare, this is his Cars 3 version. Put it over here. Same character, somehow, I don't know how, but he's a completely different model. Doesn't make all that much sense. But Pixar did that with 6 of the original Piston Cup racers. They decided to bring them back, give them an entirely new model, and call them the same character. Even though they are clearly not. But of course, a lot of the decals are in the same spots. just a lot more gradient, a lot more texture to all the decals. And this version of Floyd is actually pretty nice. Only ever available in a launcher, and actually he was released as a single, I forgot. I believe under Blue Desert in 2019 or 2020, one of those years. It would be nice if Mattel started to release some Cars 3 stock cars again, because it's been a while since they have. But anyways, here is the next gen Gasprin racer, who may be my favorite out of all of them. Richie guns it, of course. Number 70, he is made in Thailand though. As you can tell, he also has a plastic eye plate, which they don't really do anymore with next gens. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. It doesn't really make sense. A lot more, I mean, not a lot more. He just has pink. He never had pink before. Or, I guess, purple. I never understand. Purple or pink. Sometimes they look like the same color. But he's just completely different. The funny thing is he continues to have this line that kind of like wraps around him almost, his yellow line. Still has that, but now he just has some pink mixed in. Of course, much more modern. But I think I actually prefer this guy, just because I think the pink looks good with the blue and yellow. Makes it pop a little more. Very nice shade of yellow as well. But yeah, that's all for the Gasprin Racing team. Alright, so now we're getting into the good stuff. Here is Crusty Rotor, of course. The Vinyl Toupee racer, number 76. In the first Cars movie, racing in the Piston Cup, of course. Now Vinyl Toupee, I believe that is how it's pronounced, although I used to always say, I think I used to say Vinyl Toupee, but yeah, I think that's just a mistake, I think, on my part. I believe it is Vinyl Toupee, because a toupee, of course, is like a, I don't know, some kind of weird hairstyle, and I think that's what Vinyl Toupee is supposed to be. It's supposed to be basically this vinyl, like, top, but it's almost like a parody of basically hair dye for men, I would assume. Well, this whole black part up here, now I believe in the movie it's supposed to just be paint, but it's supposed to look like it's actually what, like, Vinyl Toupee with the brand is selling, which is basically just a vinyl top. But it's supposed to kind of, like, represent, I guess, hair dye, like I said, for when your hair, for older cars, I guess, because obviously they don't have hair, so, I don't know. It's kind of confusing. I don't really understand it completely, but that is usually what the Piston Cup brands are. They're usually parodies of real-life brands, basically. Although I don't think this one is like a direct parody, like the last one with Gasprin, of course representing aspirin. I don't believe there's a real brand called something like Vinyl Toupee, but I'm not really sure, maybe there is. Anyways, I just think Crusty Rotor, very cool name. Whose name is Krusty? I've never heard it, other than Krusty the Clown and The Simpsons. But I just think he has such a cool design. I love like this lavender purple kind of pink. I would have used to say he's pink, but I guess more of a purple than a pink, I would say. Especially because he has a lot of like purple accents here. And a lot of orange, which is pretty unique. We don't see a lot of orange Piston Cup racers. Usually a lot of yellow though. A lot of blue, a lot of green. Believe it or not, there is 3 like pink racers. Purple, pink, kind of like the same shade in between kind of color. Of course, we have Crusty Rotor here, and then Eugene Carbareski, who's definitely a flat out pink, and don't forget Hall in Gas, who is more of a lavender. I definitely want to review Hall soon. I don't have Eugene, unfortunately. It's actually one of the last Piston Cup racers I still need. There's only a few others, I believe. Billy Oil Changer and Slider Petrolsky, and I don't know. Oh yeah, there's definitely a few others. But anyways, yeah. It's weird how he doesn't have any headlights, whereas, of course, Floyd here, you know, pretended to at least. He had little yellow squares, but this guy, Crusty here, he just doesn't care. He doesn't need them, and he just put the number 76 where his one headlight would be. Now, the Vinyl Toupee logo is very nice. It's kind of weird that the T's overlapping with the V. I never realized that before. I don't believe it's like that on the Chinese version. Although I don't have him to compare him to. Unfortunately, like I said, I never had Crusty before because he was only previously released pretty sparingly over the years. Last as a single in 2017. But he was actually just released as a Vietnam-made variant. and not a very nice one either. It looked pretty cheap looking. Bad decals and like ugly looking eyes. But he was released from Vietnam in a big Piston Cup 11 pack. But he was basically the only kind of like sought after car in the pack, so I never found it, so I never bought it. Obviously I wouldn't buy it online, because I'm glad I waited now and got this nicer Thailand variant. But who knows, maybe we'll get it one day. So here is Vinyl Toupee. I guess it's like a spray on black paint. I don't know, I guess you'd need a pity to spray it on for you, because cars don't really have hands. But yeah, there's the green bottle, the VT logo on it, and look at it all spraying. It's like it's spraying the purple lavender, I guess, hair dye all over the side of Krusty's body. Interesting. Same exact contingency sponsors as Floyd had. I believe all the Piston Cup racers had the same ones. Same contingency sponsors. Giant 76. Very cool. And on the back he has a nice little like slogan. It says she'll never notice. Yeah, it makes me think that they are trying to like mimic a real life brand, but I just couldn't tell you which one. I don't know. Very cool. It's a lot of going on in the back. Usually Piston Cup racers don't have much going on in the back in terms of decals, but Crusty sure does. He's full of decals. I just think he looks so cool. Much less simplistic than Floyd is. Another cool logo back here. I don't know what that is. I guess a tiny little yellow car getting sprayed. Oh yeah. I guess it's a big bottle. It's like spraying his tarp. Well, that's cool. It's showing how it works. Pretty cool, because usually they would just copy and paste another Vinyl Toupee logo and put it on. But it's nice to see that they actually did something different. Pretty cool. I think that's just why I like Crusty so much. He just has a lot going on. Cool color. A lot of cool colors that you wouldn't normally see together, like purple, lavender, orange, black, and even green. A little bit of green on them. And it just works so well together. Alright, so I don't have the entire Vinyl Toupee racing team, but I do have the next gen right here, that being Will Rush, to show you guys. And he is almost uncomparable, because he is completely different from head to toe, if he had a toe, head to tire, I guess. But yeah, the colors are basically all just darkened up and changed completely around. The lavender is basically replaced by this dark, like, almost blue purple. It's so cool. I do really like it, but I still prefer Crusty, to be honest. But I think it's one of the coolest next gens out there for sure. I'm not a huge fan of like the cube design they have going on, almost like a grid. I don't know why they would do that. I don't know how that relates to Vinyl Toupee, which is like a vinyl top, like a hair coloring spray. So I don't really understand that. And of course the logo is completely changed. It now has vinyl in cursive and Toupee very like bolded, so you I guess see it more. I don't know. I guess maybe people didn't know what Vinyl Toupee was before. And it now has like a nice little blue triangle. It is a nice logo though, I do like it. That's something that Crusty never really had, was blue. I guess the blue is almost like replacing the green from the can. The can is completely gone. No longer seen at all. I find that kind of strange because I don't know, I thought the can could have been modernized really nicely onto a next gen. Of course, the she'll never notice little slogan is completely gone as well. But that's typical for next gens. They almost never keep the slogans. The cool part about him, though, is that he does retain the nice black tarp or black top, Vinyl Toupee, or whatever it is. He does retain it on the top of him. I don't believe Rev Rotages, the Cars 3 stock car for Vinyl Toupee, I don't believe he had that, but then again, he probably did. I don't know if it was black, though. He was completely different as well. He featured like a white and like brown design, which is kind of strange for Vinyl Toupee. I must say, though, I do really like it. Honestly, this is kind of hard to pick my favorite Vinyl Toupee racer. Still, I think I have to pick Crusty Rotor. I usually pick the next gens, though. Yeah, I think I'd have to go Crusty Rotor, Rev Rotages, and then Will Rush. Even though they're all pretty equal. I do like Will Rush a lot. I don't know, I just feel like he doesn't look like he represents Vinyl Toupee, but he is really cool. Because I don't know, like, there's nothing on him that shows that he's a Vinyl Toupee racer. other than the logo. Like, these squares don't really represent the brand. Like, this is showing exactly what the brand is. Like, it's showing a spring bottle, I guess, a spring can. But I don't know. It is pretty cool. I'm just glad he still has the black top on his roof there. He even has a black spoiler. Cool spoiler. Nice new updated logo as well. But other than that, I do have the semi-cab for Vinyl Toupee, which is pretty cool. Only ever released in 2017 as a semi. He was released with his hauler way back in 2010 though. I wish I had that version, but I had my chance to get it. I never did. I guess I was too young. I remember seeing it in the store. I really wanted it, but I think it was already in line or something. There was some reason I couldn't get it. I forget. But anyways, yeah, I never ended up getting him. That's actually a really cool hauler because it has this whole black tarp, this whole black top there. It's actually on the hauler, so it's pretty cool. Definitely one of my favorite haulers out there, or if not my favorite. So I might have to get him one day. Maybe he'll be re-released, but honestly, I very much doubt that. But anyways, here is Floyd, and I think that kind of completes our review of the two of these guys. Very cool Piston Cup racers. I love this 2-pack. And who knows, it could get released again in 2023, but if not, like I said, Crusty Rotor is getting released as a single. So that's kind of nice, but he's not a new variant. He's exactly the same. And who knows, Floyd Mulvihill might be released as a single as well. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time on the Cars Garage.